So what are you going to do for Christmas, Mr. Hans Gruber?
I'm going to rob the Nakatomi. I'm going to Disneyland.
Ah, I see. Well, what are you going to do when you get to Disneyland?
I'm going to rob the Disney. I'm going to ride Splash Mountain.
Ah, what about Pirates of the Caribbean? What are you going to do then? Are you going to go on that one?
Yes.
Hey, I heard the McLean family's going to be there. What are you going to say to them?
Probably that one about date rape.
Mr. Rickman. Mr.
You know, the one where the girl keeps saying, "Oh, it's so cold, I have to go home." And I keep plying her with alcohol and saying, "No, it's so cold outside."
Oh,
Mr. Gruber, I got to tell you, you are a very fashionable person. Where do you get your suits?
John Phillips at London. I own 3 myself.
Do you have any comments about your brother?
In Jeremy Irons?
No, we mean Simon Gruber, your older brother.
His taste in women is questionable.
Mr. Gruber, there's been some rumors going around that you are a thief. Do you care to elaborate?
Yes, I'm an exceptional thief.
Mr. Gruber, let me ask you, who overacts more, you or your brother Simon?
Overacting? How dare you? But my brother.
Mr. Gruber, hypothetically, if one wanted to rob a bunch of bearer bonds worth millions and millions of dollars, where should they rob?
Well, ideally, it would be an isolated location, somewhere where there was little or no guarding, and with easy escape. So, Disneyland.
Mr. Gruber, do you know where Mr. Nakatomi is?
Mr. Nakatomi will not be joining us for the rest of his life.
Mr. Gruber, I want to ask you about your rivalry with Mr. John McClane, a police officer from the New York Police Department.
John McClane, yes, he's another product of a bankrupt culture. He thinks he's another cowboy to ride off with Grace Kelly into the sunset.
Well, there's been rumors he's killed your brother in a game of Russian roulette with a rocket launcher. Do you know anything about this?
Well, no. Sounds distressing. Perhaps I should give my brother a call.
Mr. Gruber, what's your favorite terrorist group?
That would be the Asian Dawn. I read about them in Time magazine.
If there was one
my
thing...
second favorite, of course, would be the Disney Corporation.
Mr. Gruber, if you could have anything for Christmas, what would it be?
Harry Potter's invisibility cloak. How I despise that insolent youth.
What would you be using this invisibility cloak for?
Date rape, of course.
Mr. Gruber, what were you doing up on the roof? What were you looking for?
I'm trying to remember that particular part of the film.
You know that part where you did I must say, a very flawless American accent.
Oh, yes. Bill Clay.
I guess you must be out of practice.
That's all right. I just want a cigarette.
Out of curiosity, what about Robin Hood? Do you have any comments about him?
Yes. Going to dig his heart out with a spoon.
Now that there's been rumors that you've been really overtaxing the people of Sherwood Forest. Is there any truth to this?
Anyone spreading such malicious rumors will go to the gallows immediately.
Mr. Gruber, there's been rumors that you have connections to an actor in the popular sci-fi television show Galaxy Quest. Is this true? Any truth to this?
It was the 80s. I was owing lots of money to my bookkeepers. Yes, I did some time with this television program.
Mr. Gruber. Oh, sorry. Mr. Gruber, on your team that you're a group of associates, who is your favorite?
Oh, that would, of course, be the communications officer. Her breasts are exquisite.
and your associates that you broke into the Nakatomi Tower. Who are your favorites among that group?
Well, to be honest, they all seem like cannon fodder to me, but the crazed one with the long hair and the vengeance impulse, we had good times together.
What about
Mr.
Theo?
Pardon, sorry.
What about Theo?
Theo was unpleasant to work with. I suggested that he find a job somewhere in Texas.
But I thought he had a charming personality.
Theo is as charming as a garden slug. Perhaps less so.
Mr. Gruber, I just have two questions for you. The first is, can you say the line, please, from Galaxy Quest?
No.
The second line is, how did you survive being shot and tossed out of the 50th so floor of the Nakatomi building?
I always eat my vitamin C.
That doesn't really answer my question, but okay.
Very well. I cited the mantra of which you speak of, the by Raptor's hammer, etc., etc.
I see. Because there were rumors that that wasn't you, that was your stud double, and you was actually hiding out in a van in a parking lot all along throughout the entire heist, but
Pardon me, apparently I'm being requested to do a little karaoke. Just hear those sleigh bells jingling, ring ting tingling too. Come on, it's lovely weather for a sleigh ride together with you. Outside the snow is falling and friends are calling, yoo-hoo! Come on, it's lovely weather for a sleigh ride together with you. Is that sufficient?
I think this wraps up our discussion.
So,
Actually,
alien resurrection.
we actually, I was saying before, Average Gamer and I were coming up with this, like, you know, those infomercials for like CDs, like the greatest hits of. So I wrote something like, only $19.99, you can own a Nakatomi Christmas. Alan Rickman sings Christmas classics. That's right, the world's most fashionable terrorist sings the greatest Christmas songs of all time, including Frost the Snowman, The 12 Days of Christmas, Little Drummer Boy, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Hostage, Rocking Around the Christmas Tree, Jingle Bells, White Christmas, Winter Wonderland, and so much more.
And all I want
Don't
for
forget to
Christmas is
grab
my
my
damn
run over by an
detonators.
ATV.
Oh God.
If you instant, you guys. And a crap.
As my friend Eric Cartman would say, subscribe, bitches. You have until the count of 3. There will not be a 4. 1, 2, 3.
I'm not going to subscribe. You gotta have to kill me.
All right.